Kids for the Southwestern College women's volleyball program. They have one goal in mind this season, and that is to get back where they were last year and finish the job this time around. Look, last year Swick did not start the way they wanted to. They had a very rough start to the season, as some may call it. 4-8 in their first 12 games. I was worried what would happen over the rest of the season. I was even considering it, I was kind of lost to figure out what would happen over the next few weeks. Swick would continue to have to fight obstacles at about the first to midway part of the season, losing players and having tough competition to face. But over the course of the season, Swick was able to turn things around as they got players back and got healthy at the end of the stretch. Swick would finish the season on a 22-6 run and going on a program record-breaking win streak of 10 games that sparked everything for the end part of the season for Swick. They entered the Region 24 postseason tournament as a 4 seed, where some may thought, well, it's going to be Lakeland, Vincennes, and John A. in fighting for the championship spot. Swick would get to the Final Four with the win over 5 seed Lincoln Trail in the quarterfinal, and then do something very impressive. Knock off the number 1 seed, Lakeland College, in 3 sets.
Pale service over. Near the back line, back left corner. Free ball's coming. Lakeland sends it over. Rupert go in the middle of the peel. Right in the middle of the day. You can start the buses, folks. Swick is going to the championship game at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. Swick's Region 24 championship hopes came to an end on a Sunday afternoon playing Vincennes University.
And the first serve by Peel. This one's over in the middle. Vincennes will throw it. Big swing put down. And the Trailblazers of Vincennes University are your Region 24 champions. And an unbelievable comeback by Swick just falls a little bit short. 25-21 the final it's set for. An unbelievable game. And Swick just came just a little bit short. Vincennes repeats as champions for the 4th straight season.
But Swick was still able to do their job. They were able to get to the Midwest District Tournament and host it and had their sights set on going to the national tournament. But what would it take to get there? It would take a win. It would have to take a win over one of the best programs in the country, Indian Hills Community College. And unfortunately, on a Sunday afternoon, Swick's season, Swick's dreams, Swick's hopes came to an end.
Serve and rest on the sophomore shoulders. It's over. They throw it to the left side. Swing, Walton Stick coming back to the net. They send it back, and that will do it. Indian Hills will punch their ticket to the national tournament with a 4-set win as they claim the championship of this Midwest District Tournament in 4 sets, 23-25, 25-17, 25-8, and 25-20.
But this year, Swick looks to rebound and get back to where they were and, as mentioned, finish the job. But it will be tough. Going to this season, Swick is losing over 1,000 kills of 1,700 total from last year, just about 62%, and losing 857 of 1,268 sets played. Almost 68% of those sets are lost from last year. Swick has talented sophomores coming back, paired with some interested freshmen that head coach Warren Thomas thinks this could be the group that can make a run. Tonight, we'll see how it starts. Swick started off the season last weekend sweeping the opening tournament in Rockford, Illinois, going 4-0. Now it's time for their home opener against the Vincennes Warriors of Rend College, who come into tonight's game with a record of 2-3. It's the Blue Storm 4-0, the Warriors 2-3. Tonight here from Southwestern College, it's Steven Stocky. Welcome into the Swick Volleyball pregame show. Hello, folks. It's a pleasure to be back with you. If you're returning from last year or a new fan this year, I just want to say welcome. I'm glad to have you along once again, or have you along here for the first time, and very excited to spend some time with you guys and just follow this team. I had a lot of fun following this program last season in an remarkable, just unbelievable turn of a season from 4-8 to finishing 26-14. what does this season have in store? And I can't wait to break it down and everything for you guys. I'm so excited to have you along, and let's get this thing rolling. If you're not, let's go to mention out real quick, too, if you're not following the Swick Volleyball page on Instagram, at Blue Storm, I think it's V-Ball, I want to say, at Blue Storm V-Ball, I recommend you follow now. They kind of repost a lot of my stats that I don't necessarily mention on the broadcast here, and I know it's a little more, I know a lot of more insight that people like, so I recommend you go ahead and follow that now. You'll see all my stats reposted on there and everything. But yes, I'm so excited to get this season going. Let's have some fun, right? Let's have some fun. You look at Swick this year, and this is the first stat I want to bring up real quick because I don't have much time because I want to go into an interview I did or just a few weeks ago talking about this season. This is the stat I think you need to know tonight, and we'll talk more stats throughout this game. But Swick is 26-6 in their last 32 games going back to last year. That is an .813 win percentage, one of the best in the country. Swick is also, as I mentioned, 4-0 to start the season. This is their tied for their third best start since 2011. They started 4-0 in 2021. They started 5-0 in 2015, 6-0 in 2014. And as I mentioned, this matches their 4-8 start. They've matched their win total already from their first 12 games last season, which that's some impressive math right there, 1/3 of the games. Here we go, folks. If you don't know me, math is going to be a big thing this season. I have a lot of math, a lot of stats for you. I don't have much tonight. Obviously, first home opener, first game for me. But just be ready for the ride if you're new here, folks. That's all I can say. There's a lot of math, a lot of stats in these that I'm going to give you every given night. But Swick is 4-0, and last year there was only 13 JUCO D1 women's volleyball programs start 4-0, and there was like 90-plus Division I programs. Only 13 started 4-0. 6 of those 13 ended up going on to make the national tournament. You do the math, that's already put Swick in a spot that's just about 50% to make the national tournament. And out of the 38 district tournament winners from the last 3 seasons, only 8 of them did not start 3-1 or better. So the math, the stats, context are already on Swick's side, but as these stats correlate, correlation does not equal causation, as a lot of people like to say. AP Psychology, right there. Shout out to my AP Psychology teacher 2 years ago, Mark Brockman. There you go. Anyway, had to give a shout out to one of my Bevel East legends. Anyway, Swick this season, though, I want to talk about the impressive 4-0 start real quick. Swick is hitting .328 as a team in the first 4 games. That is the 4th best in the country, and it gets better. Swick already has 58 aces already. What the? I saw that, I was looking at the stats from last week, and I looked at it earlier this week. 58 aces. I mean, what the? I mean, my goodness, folks, that is a lot. And that is the first, I betcha it's the first best in the country. It should be. First best in the country. And Swick is also averaging 4.5 aces per set. That's first best in the country. They're averaging 2.42 blocks per set. That's 17th best in the country. And 18.3 points per set. That's 4th best in the country. Swick's doing a lot of things right, and already 4 games in. Now, you might say, the competition wasn't the greatest at the Open tournament. That's fair. You can make that point. But right now, Swick just needs to be playing their best game, as it's going to take a lot to figure this out. You have a lot of players, a lot of new pieces, and you're going to hear head coach Warren Thomas talk about it here in just a minute, some of these new pieces. And it's how I've kind of had it described, and I describe, trying to figure out what the rotation is. It's like a puzzle. What pieces fit, it's in that puzzle. And so that's what Swick's goal is over the next few weeks, to figure out what that puzzle looks like, and then roll with it. And that's what Swick did last season, and we'll see how long it takes to get there. Hopefully not long, and obviously doesn't look like it won't be long, as Swick is 4-0 to open up the year. How long does this Swick win streak last? Well, Swick will get Jeffco tomorrow, a team that made a run. I think they got to the championship of the Midwest District Tournament last year. They finished under 500, though, and I don't think they've had I haven't done much research yet on them. I know they have not had the greatest start, though, to their season. So will Swick be able to go 5-0 tonight, 6-0 tomorrow? Well, we'll see. And then next week, it's Vincennes and Mineral Area, 2 very tough opponents that you can easily get in the Midwest District Tournament in the postseason. So Swick, nonetheless, is maybe primed for a 6-0 start. They could continue this, which, as I just mentioned, would tie their best start since 2011, as they went 6-0 in 2014. All right, I want to go ahead and get to this interview because I don't know how much I can play. We have a 15-minute pregame. That's sometimes not long enough on the air. If you know me, if you follow me, we followed the season. I don't think I have enough time to get all the information out that I want to, because I have so much. You gotta pick what's the best. What's better. Anyway, head coach Warren Thomas, assistant coach Kelsey Cowan. I had the chance to sit down with them just a few weeks ago to preview the season. The full interview is out on that Swick Volleyball Instagram page. You can go there. We're gonna have both. We're gonna cut it in two parts. Part 1 tonight, part 2 tomorrow. But the full interview will be on the pregame show tonight and tomorrow. And I want to make sure I can play a little bit of that because I think that interview is really good and talks a lot about this season for Swick. So here is the two coaches for the Swick volleyball program. And we'll see you at when we get ready for the open and serve here. It's the Warriors of Rend College, the loser with Southwestern College. Thanks for tuning into our pregame show. And now here is head coach Warren Thomas and assistant coach Kelsey Cowan.
It's going well. If you know me, I planned for several months prior to this. I'm watching a lot of film from last season, and I'm trying to apply it to our new folks that are aboard with us now, and also the new processes we have in place for our team. In fact, one of the biggest is our weight training program, which I really have to hand it to Kelsey Cowan, my assistant. She has done a wonderful job, something I've always wanted to have in a volleyball program, and I owe it a lot to her. So,
thank you, Coach.
Well, Kelsey, we'll start off with that, talking about that program. How's it been with this for you guys this year so far?
Yeah, so we started summer workouts, just heavy plyometrics, working on our vertical, and just some injury kind of prehab. And so far, it seemed to really work, and we're ripping and roaring. So it's been good. I think with Coach, the girls have a lot of buy-in this season, which is great. A lot of trust is building on the team, so it's really a great start so far.
Well, speak of that as well, I think there's a lot of just kind of want to get back to where we were last year. I think when you get to experience that type of level of volleyball, that type of winning, you get kind of addicted to it, is kind of describe it. Just talk about so far what you guys have seen from the girls, the first week, how much energy they're bringing, what's it like just being around them?
I think they're building the culture in a way of, especially the sophomores, because they felt that feeling last year of we were so close.
So close.
And it's like every rep matters in the weight room and on the court. It all adds up in the end. So I think they are kind of paving the way for the freshmen and just being leaders.
I think a big focus was really on our how we started our season. We spent one day to just bond, going through a bunch of meetings, school meetings and team meetings, and then we had our bonding event. We went to the escape room down in Belleville, and then had dinner right after that. But the one thing that I stressed to all of them at the beginning, for the freshmen, since we have so many, is to put them in our position, our place, our method of thinking, our method of moving forward from last season. Being a Division I team the first time around and getting close to nationals, just left a taste in all of our mouths who are returning to say, you know what, we're going to the next step. And that's what you're supposed to do, not stay stagnant, not go below, but you plan and push yourself to the next step. And now that we've had these practices and they've had our training, and they, like Kelsey said, they have buy-in to our program, that's what we're looking to do. So,
You talked about team buy-in, as you mentioned day one. How huge is that, running a program, running a team where they're all together? Because I know you kind of get two different games on the court. One team that's not together and a team that is together. What's that like?
The biggest thing, and it's with anything in life, you have to establish a foundation and allow that foundation to hold anything that comes within your way or within as you progress further. If you don't have a good foundation, it's going to fall. And the thing about this is that I look at Kelsey for a lot of I don't know the right terms, stuff or whatever to build. And I've seen that connection to where, because of our mindsets or whatever, we're able to provide that foundation for this team and for teams to go forward from here. So with that said, that team bonding is a result of that foundation.
You look at, just talk about just last year at Division I level, you said one game from Nationals. It's been you're kind of building something now. You have 4 straight years of 500 season. You guys are 95 and 53 in those last 4 years, which is about a 640 win percentage. It's pretty good.
Right.
I'll talk to Kelsey about this. I know you played over before you came to coach. Just talk about, over the last few years as a program, have you seen this program continue to rise and get to the level it's at now?
It's really surreal. My freshman year was COVID season, and we had 8 players or less. Some less.
Yeah, I almost forfeited that season, but I decided to keep it going. So yeah.
Looking back, I'm so glad we had that season because it showed me and all of the other freshmen that we had that season how much work it really takes to be able to level up. And it was almost one of those things of like, we are not going to have another season like that, period. Yeah. It was not fun. Everyone hates losing. Like, you don't want to have a season like that. So we almost had a chip on our shoulder coming in the next year. And just explaining to the freshmen, like, it takes every rep, every minute in the gym. Like, you have to be 110% or just you will fail. And I think every year since then, we've just kind of built and built and built. And then because of that, our recruiting has gotten better. Wow. Yeah. So it all just kind of built from that COVID year because we're not going back. I know that.
And you speak of that as well. I think one of the, look at volleyball at the junior college level, especially around the area, there's some heavy names out there. You're looking at like Johnny Logan, Kaskaskia, and then, you got a few other teams as well. I looked at this as I talked about 95 and 53 record over the last 3 years. There's only 3 schools in the Region 24 that have a better record in that time span. That's John A., Kaskaskia, and Vincennes. And I think one of the things we learned last season, by the end of the season, we can hang with those teams. Speak about, Coach, when you game plan for those type of teams, and just kind of the feeling of, I guess I describe it as self-respect, because you guys feel like you can hang with those teams now.
Right. One of the things that's important is that I feel we know the environment of those teams, but it's important that we know what we are capable of doing and focusing on that. And I think that's a big reason why last season, towards the end, and even that multiple win ratio we had going, we didn't look at other teams. We looked at ourselves, and we were able to find that positivity to where we know we can make it. Like you said, we know we can run with these teams or whatever. Now, I just want to grow that, because now teams, I want them to look at us saying, the storms are coming. Yeah. And have that in their mind. So yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the roster for you guys this year. And a big thing is you guys lost a couple sophomores from last year that are huge pieces. I just looked at this the other day, is that you guys lost over 1,000 kills. That's 1,000 of 1,700. That's 62%. That's a lot. But you have some pieces return. I think Ashlyn Hughes is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
We'll kind of talk about her first real quick.
Yeah, healthy Ashlyn.
Yes, because that's huge to talk about. And you and I talked about this last year, how much stronger, how much better she was getting over the course of the season as she came back. I pulled a stat from last year. She was averaging 2.5 kills per set in those last 13 games of the season. I mean, watched her upstairs before we came down here to talk. She looks pretty good to be healthy right now. And someone that's huge to have. She's
going to be a big factor for us. Our thing is that, like we said from last year, all our players, the health of them.
Yes.
Okay. the thing that's going to complement Ash, I call her Ash. Ash is that we have two other players that are, I would probably say, is just there also. One of which is a returnee from, not a returnee, but a transfer player from Rend Lake, and one that we were able to recruit in as a freshman from Cape Girardeau. And both of them they complement each other.
And we welcome you in here to Southwestern Illinois College for tonight's home opener for the SWIC volleyball season, coming in a record of 4-0 as they look to continue the winning ways as they take on the visiting Warriors of Rend Lake College. The Warriors come in a record of tonight's game at 2-3. SWIC trying to build off of last season. Had a very good year, 26-14, and were able to turn things around. We're able to turn things around after a 4-8 start, after I think it was a 2-2 split in the St. Louis tournament that one weekend in September. Turned things around, went on a 22-6 run, come in tonight 26-6 in their last 32 games, at 800 win percentage in those 32. Very fired up crowd here tonight. Just had a lot of fun announcing the starting lineups here as SWIC will be rocking few freshmen in the lineup, but a lot of familiar faces from last year. One of the new ones is going to be at center, a freshman, number 7, Lacey Pullman. She's going to be, her and Addie Worson will be splitting those setter duties. Unfortunately, you had your sophomore setter last year and Aubrey Peel go down. Addie Worson go down, so let Aubrey Peel to take over the full-time set of duties. As Rend Lake's going to go on the board here first with a swing from the left side, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Warriors. You also have Grace Johnson, who's back, who's going to be the top player for SWIC in kills. You also have Ashlyn Hughes in the middle. Layla Porter, a freshman out of Conroe, Texas, gets the start tonight as well. You have Bailey Henry as well out of Bernie, Missouri, a freshman. And Brooke Miller, who is playing her former team tonight. She was a Rend Lake Warrior last year and transferred over here to SWIC, the better side, I like to call it. As here's going to be Rend Lake. They're going to send this one over, and it goes right off of Pullman. And it's going to be a point for Rend Lake, and it's a quick start, 2-0 in favor of the Warriors. Also, libero is Addison Walton, who, kind of expected her to take over those duties in the libero reins after you had a great libero the last 2 years in the now Greenville University Panther, Emily Rupert. We're wishing her well and her luck this season. She's going to do great things at Greenville. And there's going to be a point for SWIC on a violation, double hit. And it'll go over to the Blue Storm for their first point of the season, and Grace Johnson will get the first serve tonight for SWIC. SWIC this season likes to get service aces. They're coming into tonight with 58 aces, as I mentioned on the pregame show. That's the first best in the country. As Pullman will send that over, here comes Rend Lake. They'll throw it onto the right side. Swing is over. It's going to be Johnson going to dig to Pullman. It'll set Porter, left-handed swing, block going backwards. Johnson's there. It'll be Pullman that sends it over the third hit. Rend Lake will try to rebound 2-1 early on. On the left side, it's going to go near back left quarter. Johnson's there. Pullman now going to Walton. She'll send it over the last hit on a free ball. Rend Lake sending it back in the middle. Swing is over, and a kill for the Warriors. It's 3-1. Talked to Ashlyn Hughes Wednesday, so yesterday, Tuesday. Ended up talking to her, and she said that, they thought they played their best game in that last win on last Sunday against Southwestern Michigan College, who I thought was going to be the toughest opponent out of the four. They came off, I believe it was a 22-16 campaign last season. It's what took care of business in 3, and that's what you want to see is playing your best volleyball. But as I've kind of mentioned, it's going to go right off of Hughes, land right in the middle. Not the best start, 4-1 in favor of the Warriors. I mentioned it to her, and I mentioned on the pregame too. It's going to take a little bit of time to really figure things out, and I kind of call it a little bit of a puzzle piece because you're trying to figure out what puzzle pieces fit into this big puzzle, and you got, you're looking at 12 players on the rosters. That's going to be a point for SWIC as Ashlyn Hughes is able to get one over, and it's 4-2. 1 second. Just lost our huddle camera. Give me 1 second. Let me set that back up. And SWIC's going to get an ace there, 4-3. 1 second. Forgot to extend it. All right. Let's see here. Should be good now. Apologize for that. Oh, come on. In just a moment. 4-3 the score. SWIC will serve this over. There we go. We're back. Rend Lake on the left side sends over. Pullman sends it backwards. Grace Johnson. Great play to get there.
And then the third hit by Pullman, unable to do much with it, unable to get it over. And it's 5-3 in favor of the Warriors. Rend Lake will send Eden Anderson back to serve. And Brooke Miller, as I mentioned, transferred from Rend Lake last year, coming as a sophomore out of Valmeyer, Illinois, which I got that confirmed how to pronounce that because I've heard that a couple ways to pronounce it, Valmeyer, but glad to get 100% confirmed. As there's Grace Johnson, I believe that's her first kill of the night, and it's 5-4. And coming in, leading Swick in kills, 37 kills in 13 sets, 2.85 average per set. Layla Porter's going to come out, be the sophomore Addie Worsenin, and it's also going to be a new freshman in the middle out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, number 3, Nalea Furlow. I'm hoping I get that right. At head coach Warren Thomas, so it's going to go out. Swick's going to type of 5. You got to break that down a little bit for me. It's one of those tough ones. So hopefully we'll get that right. Now, over the course of the season, we'll have it down. This takes a little bit sometimes. Worson is the one serving for the Blue Storm. Here is Rend Lake Center. That one's going to be blocked into the middle. LeBaron will send it over. Johnson in the middle for Worson. He'll set Miller, and there's going to be a kill. Her first against her former school, and it's 6-5 in favor of the Blue Storm. They have their first lead of the night. Brooke Miller, an outstanding athlete as well. And you got a little bit of a different talent jump. Rend Lake at the D2 level and women's volleyball, but coming over the D1, looks like she's adjusting just fine. And third in kills already for Swick this season. That one's on the back line. I believe that was in. It will. Bailey Henry, the freshman, gets on the board with her first kill, and it's 7-5 in favor of the Blue Storm. Addie will serve this one again. She's on a streak here now. Had an unfortunate end to her season. I think it was about midway. I don't even know if it was midway through. It was against Southeastern Illinois in a home game. There's going to be a kill for Furlow on the right side. We're getting a whole bunch of players with their first kills now. We just had Miller, Johnson before that. Henry, now Furlow. 8-5 in favor of the Blue Storm. It was 4-0 run, 5-0 run. Not bad start here after the opening start last few minutes. Furlow is there. Going to go to Worson, left side. Henry, there's going to be a kill. Her second in the last 3 points. And it's 9-5. And now we're starting to gel a little bit. Swick will also get Rend Lake in October. I believe it's October 1st in Ina, Illinois, over at Rend Lake College. And that's going to be a point for the Blue Storm. Just kind of whiffed at it on the set. And a timeout in for the Warriors as Swick is out to an early lead. 9-5 the score. First time out of the ball game, or 10-5 now, is the score. Back in a moment. This is the Blue Storm Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Back in a moment. Swick on a roll, leading 10-5 after the Rend Lake timeout. Warriors come out of it, though. A big one down as Walton able to take it out, but couldn't find a teammate to follow it up, and it's 10-6 in favor of the Warriors. Rend Lake will send Chandler Blondland, a freshman outside, back to serve. Warriors coming in at 2-3 on the season. Miller, big one coming. Rend Lake trying to keep it alive. Will eventually hit the floor. Brooke Miller's second kill tonight, and it's 11-6 in favor of the Blue Storm. They get that point right back. Swick is 8-1 in the last 9 against Rend Lake. 10-4 since 2018. Rend Lake on the tip over. Furlow is there. Will go to Worston. She'll throw it left side for Johnson. Big swing, and too much of a big swing, and it's going to go out. No touch, and it'll go to the Warriors for a point, 11-7. Swick's 3-set win at Rend Lake in that second matchup last season. I believe it was the last game of the regular season for Swick. snapped a streak of 8 straight games between these two, at least go into a 4th set. Swing on the right side. Henry's there on the day. We'll go Worston right side. Just going to hit it over. Rend Lake tried to send it back, and it's going to be a point for the Blue Storm, and it will be 12-7 in favor of Swick. Brooke Miller is going to come out. Ashlyn Hughes will come in. It'll be the sophomore libero, Addie Walton, back to serve. A great season last year as defense specialist. I mentioned coming into the libero spot now. Walton will go right side for Furlow. Her swing going to be denied by the net, and that's going to be a point for Rend Lake. As Walton's hit over as it hit the net was the 4th hit. One hit too many. We'll go back to Rend Lake 12-8. Kendra Wilkie, a freshman setter, will serve it for the Warriors. This one's going to be over. Johnson going to Worse, and Hughes in the middle. Big one put down. Ashlyn Hughes with her 2nd kill. And it's 13-8 as the sophomore is able to put one down. Ashlyn Hughes had a really, really strong end to her regular season last year. Missed probably a little over half of the season. And when she came back, took her a little bit to build herself back to where she wanted to be. It was a great player at Mascouda High School. As Rend Lake is going to send that over on the 3rd hit. That one got around the antenna somehow. Henry, back left corner, and no one's going to be able to follow it up. Point for Rend Lake, 13-9. Ended up playing at Jeffco, Jefferson College, who Swick will get tomorrow. So you got 2 former schools coming in of Swick players. Brooke Miller of Rend Lake tonight, and then Ashlyn Hughes of Jefferson College out of Missouri tomorrow night. This one's going to be over. Hughes puts one down. That one looked like late season form. Easy, smooth set in the kill, 14-9 in favor of Swick. That'll be Grace Johnson, who's going to be back to serve. Her 2nd time serving, made a full rotation around. Goes right to the Rend Lake libero. Tip over. Johnson's going to be there going to Pullman. Right side Porter, left-handed swing. Found a spot in the middle. Layla Porter makes it 15-9. Swick up by 6, their largest lead. She's got a left-handed swing, and interested to see how that plays. I always get one of those players on the team with a left-handed swing, and so far working for Porter, the freshman out of Texas. Rend Lake unable to send it over on a free ball, 16-9 in favor of Swick. But Hughes, go back to her, ended up getting injured that freshman year at Jefferson College. Transfers to Swick, and then, can't remember, hopefully I'm correct on this, I'll have to ask her sometime. Went down in practice. I think it was I want to say it was either her pinky or one of her index. I can't remember. I think it was her pinky, though. Got hurt in practice, missed the halfway through the season, came back, and it was essentially, just perfect at the end of the season. As Hughes is going to get another kill. She was averaging about 8 kills per game, which you do the math, about I think it was about 2.75 kills per set in her last 10 games of the season. Had it highest 10 percentage in those 10 games on the team, was over 300. And when she's healthy, we're going to have a good season. And kind of talk about that with a lot of players. And that's going to go right off of Henry, going to be a point for Rend Lake. And you're kind of seeing some of those mental errors, early season mishaps, mistakes that you're going to see. It's going to take a little time. I always mention you got to get the rust off, and it takes a little bit. Took a little bit last season, 4-8 in the first 12. Swick has matched that win total in their first 4 games already this season. Grace Johnson will send it over on a free ball. Rend Lake going to left side swing, put down. Walton's there. Henry now will go to Johnson for the back row. Big block by Rend Lake. Swick was there with Johnson. Left side, Henry got it, 18-10 in favor of the Blue Storm. 8-point lead, they're the largest of the set. Brooke Miller will come back in. Walton will come out, no libero for Swick as Ashlyn Hughes back to serve. I don't think we saw her serve much last season. Send this one over. It's going to be out. It'll be 18-11. Walton will come back in, and Hughes will come out. Rend Lake will send Eden Anderson back to serve. It's a lefty. We'll get this one over to Johnson in the middle. Pullman. Pass to Miller. Put one down. That's her 3rd. And Swick leads 19-11. She's really feeling it tonight. Former Rend Lake Warrior. Addie Worson will come back in. Same thing here with Nalea Furlow. Lacey Pullman, Layla Porter. I'm going to keep saying Nalea. That's what it looks like to me, but Nalea is how it's mentioned to me. I'm going to try and stick to that. That one's going to be sent over. Worson going left side to Walton, right side Furlow. Swing, a little bit too strong. Did it get a touch? It did not. Point for Rend Lake, and it's back to the Warriors in the 19-12 ball game. Not got a service ace yet here for the Blue Storm in this first set. Came in averaging to tonight's game almost 4.5 aces per set. Have not got one here. That one's going to go into net. Point for Swick, 20-12, and we're the first team to 20. I mentioned 58 aces in the first 4 games. The next best is, well, Region 24 opponent John A. Logan with 56. Lincoln Trails also tied with them. They've also have played an extra game at 56. Henry serve into the net. And a point goes back to Rend Lake 19-13. And then after that, another Region 24 opponent, Kaskaskia, is off to a good start. I believe they're 4-0. They've also are 5-0 because they've played 5 games. Swick will not get their first Region 24 game till Friday. That'll be in Vincennes. There is going to be a swing put down. Grace Johnson makes it 21-13. Swick within 4 here in this first set. Brooke Miller will come out. Ashlyn Hughes back in. Addie Walton will serve it for the second time. And it's going to be an interesting matchup. 2 of them next Friday. Excited to have those for you as well. Johnson will put that in the net. 21-14. And we'll go back here to Rend Lake. We'll get Vincennes next Friday. I believe that's a 2 o'clock game. And then right after that, in the doubleheader, we'll get Mineral Area College. I'm excited to see Swick get a look at them. They're going to be one of the best programs in D1 this year, just like they were last year. Johnson puts one down, coming back over the net. Hughes tried to send it back, and Rend Lake was all over it. Point for the Warriors. They get 2 straight. 21-15 here in set 1. A look at Mineral Area late last year in that Midwest District Tournament. Fell to Indian Hills. Both of those programs were very, very good, as Walton unable to get that one to stay in as she hits it over. It's going to go out. 3 straight for the Warriors. A little bit of a late rally here, 21-16. Rend Lake played in the same opening tournament the Blue Storm did. There's going to be a hit over on the right side. No common opponents. They went 2-2, and then recently this week on Monday, played a Lakeland up in Maturo, and Hughes puts one down, but they're going to call a violation, and it'll go over back to Rend Lake. 21-17, they pulled within 4. Warriors will send Kendra Wilkie to serve. This one's going to be over. Henry going to Worson, left side, Johnson swing. That one's going to be over to the libero. Warriors in the middle will throw it left side, swing, off the block. Walton will step up there in the middle. Worson, Hughes found a spot right in the middle. She gets that one back, and it's 22-17. Swick within 3. Layla Porter, Lacey Pullman coming back in. Malaya Furlow and Addie Worson will come out. And when Rend Lake played Lakeland on Monday, lost in 3, 25-12, 25-18, 25-17. They're 6-2. They've played 16 sets. 6-2 in sets, and they have a positive hitting percentage. 0-8 when it's a negative. Henry's there. We'll go to Pullman. Left side, right side, Porter, left-handed swing. Rend Lake will send it back, and they send this one over. There's going to be Henry. And Hughes in the middle, going to be a point for Swick, and within 2, 23-17. You see Pullman back to serve again, and both her and Worson so far have been very close in the assist numbers, right about 4.5 each per set. This will be Pullman going left side. Johnson swing, got it. Swick within 1 as we're in set point here in set 1, 24-17. Swick this season 12-1 in sets so far. Trying to make it 13-1. Take the first set against the Warriors. There's a block. Trying to keep it up, and it's not going to get over. Swick takes the first set, 25-17 over the Warriors, now marking 5 straight sets won against Rend Lake going back to last season. We're back in a moment here for the second set here from Southwestern Illinois College. Swick taking the first against Rend Lake, 25-17. We're back in a moment for set 2. This is the Blue Storm Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Back in a moment. We're back here to Southwestern Illinois College. Swick able to take the first set, 25-17, winning by 8 over Rend Lake here in set 1 as we look him back here. Very good first set after a tough start. I think it was 5-2 at one point in that first set, but after those first opening points, Swick able to rebound and really looked good at midway through it. Took their largest lead of 8 at one point, ended up winning the set by 8. As Swick will flip sides here over to the right side on your screen. It's going to be out there for Swick. It will be freshman Layla Porter, freshman Maddie Gibbs, Ashlyn Hughes, Grace Johnson, Lacey Pullman, and libero, of course, is the sophomore Addie Walton. A little bit of a different rotation here, and we're going to kind of see that a little bit over the course of this season, the changes in the lineup. And the first game of the season, yeah, you always got technical difficulties somewhere. So I apologize, folks, for a little bit of internet issues. I'm trying to guide that through as I call this one for you. Just give me a moment. It's Rend Lake. It's going to be a point for Swick, 3-0, unable to get that one over. Hoping this. Okay, I think hopefully we're good for a little bit now. Apologize. Got a little bit of internet difficulties that's messing around, but hopefully we're back. I apologize. Rend Lake in the middle sends it over. This will be Johnson off the touch. Got it. Swick's off to an electric start. It's 4-0 early. Okay, I think we're good. Knock on wood. Say it's not a first game of the season, home opener without. First broadcast without some difficulties somewhere, if it's internet or technology. Gibbs from the left side. Maddie Gibbs, the freshman out of Plainsville, Illinois. And, again, I kind of emphasized this a little bit last year. Swick's roster is all kind of 6'1" players, worse than the kind of the farthest one out of the group. in Effingham, and not that far of a drive, as that one's going to be a point for Swick as it goes out 6-0. We'll see if Rend Lake needs to take an early timeout. But this time, this group has a little bit of different different locations. You got Laura Rostado, who's out of Brazil, played in Colorado for high school, came over. You got Layla Porter, as I mentioned, from Texas, puts that one down, but it's blocked by Rend Lake, and they're on the board here in set 2. It's 5-1. You got Skylar Yates, the right side, out of Heron, Illinois. You have who else we got here? That's freshman. As I mentioned, Lacey Pullman from Harding, Maddie Gibbs out of Plainsville, Bailey Henry over on the other side of the river in Missouri. That one's going to be out. And Swick gets the point back at 6-1. You have Nalea Furlow out of Cape Girardeau over on the other side of the river as well. Addie Walter will serve this. The libero, 6-1. Favor of the Blue Storm. Rend Lake, swing from the right side. Swick is there. And this will be with Pullman unable to get it over on the free ball. (6-2), and the Warriors will send their libero back to serve. That's going to be Ella Wesselman. Porter, left-handed swing. Rend Lake is there. We'll go to the left side. That one's going to be blocked. Rend Lake coming back on the right side. That swing, did it find a spot? I believe it did down line. It did. It's 7-3. Gibbs will receive this one off the serve. It'll go to Miller left side. That's going to be a kill. 8-3 for the sophomore out of Almeyer, Illinois. It's at least her 4th or 5th kill. I mean, she's off to a good start. It's off to a great start against her former team. And Kay Mitsu tonight, 3rd in kills, 26 kills in 12 sets, 2.17 is the average. Another piece for Swick that, in the middle, lost a couple good middles last year. Very good middles. Got a rebound there. You get Hughes back, but I think Miller, again, will be a good piece. Same thing with Furlow for the right side. She gets a kill, and it's 9-3. Swick has tripled Rend Lake's points early on. It's a good bunch. That's what I've heard so far, is just a bunch that's, just trying to get together and connect. And that's going to be another kill for Furlow, back-to-back. Build a bond and trust, and that's what Swick, I feel like the key was to last season. You had, a really good roster of girls that just love playing with each other, and that's what Swick is looking for this year, and see how far it can take you. Hit on the left side. It's going to hit the antenna. Swick has tied its largest lead, 9 of 8, 11-3. And Rend Lake is going to be forced to burn a timeout. We're back in a moment. This is Blue Storm Volleyball here on the Southwestern College Athletics YouTube channel. Back in a moment here from Swick. Swick back out of the timeout. Rend Lake had to use one early here, as that's going to be another kill. They're rolling right now. Up by 9, their largest lead. It's 12-3. Doesn't matter that Rend Lake took a timeout. Swick still able to execute right out of it. Rend Lake try to calm themselves down and calm down this run, but unable to there from the right side. That one's going to be blocked, I believe. Brooke Miller had the hands on that one. And Swick is up by double digits. It's 13-3 early on. Force it back to serve it again for Swick. Soft ball to Effinham's going to get an ace. Our first of the night for Swick. And it's 14-3. It's her 13th on the year. Currently at second behind Pullman with 15. That's her two setters with 28 total now. That one's launched out. It's 15-3. Swick now starting to, we're looking like mid-season form right now. And I mentioned on the pregame earlier, I keep talking about it's going to take a little bit to figure out what pieces fit. I don't think it's going to take much long, though, the way we're playing. That's going to go right off of Worsted. Swick unable to continue the run. 15-4, but playing really, really good here to open up the second set as we're almost midway through now. Rend Lake will send Eden Anderson, the freshman setter, back to serve. Serving left to right. This one's going to be over. Walton going to Worsen in the middle for Miller. Sends it down line. Rend Lake is there. Warriors will hand it over. It's going to be blocked out of bounds by Swick. And it's 15-5. Warriors by 10. Sorry, Blue Storm by 10 as the Warriors have pulled us back within 10. This next one is going to be over. In the middle, Miller sends that one out down the line. That's 3 straight for Rend Lake. And it's 15-6. Single-digit ball game now. Next one is going to be over. Swick right side with Gibbs. That's going to be blocked. Johnson trying to get there, cannot. And that's 4 straight now for Rend Lake. They're starting to go on a little bit of a run. It's 15-7. Left-handed serve by Rend Lake. This will go right to Furlow in the corner. Swick trying to end this run here. Gibbs on the right side sends it over. Warriors, Libero sends it to the net. It's going to go backwards. And on the third hit, they're going to get it over. And Swick gets the point as it comes back. 16-7, up by 9. Gibbs will be back to serve for Swick, freshman here. Get this one over. It's going to go right off of Rend Lake for an ace. 16-7. Next one's going to be over here for Gibbs. That's almost another ace. It's hit the bottom of the net. Rend Lake is able to get it over. And it's Swick will send it back at another point and up by 11 once again. 18-7. Another serve here for Gibbs. We'll get this one over. Rend Lake in the middle. Going to left side. Put down and a kill. Warriors get it back to 10. It's 18-8. Rend Lake will serve this one over. Swick will launch that one out. Warriors starting to pick up a few points here. It's 18-9. Next one's going to be over. This will be Johnson right off of Furlow, and Walton got it over on the third hit. And then Swick off the block. It's going to go backwards. Gibbs will launch that over just a little bit out on the back line. I mean, Johnson's right off of Furlow. I believe it hit his shoulder. And it's 17-11. 18-10, sorry. Point here for Rend Lake, and they'll serve it after their point. Gibbs going in the middle of Worston. Left side. Johnson puts it down. The sophomore makes it 19-10. Swick back up by 9, and huge lead here. We're up by as many as 8. Took the first set by 8 in the first set, and currently up by 9 here. This one's going to be over. Rend Lake will send this one over. Sorry, Swick will send it one out. Rend Lake sends it over on the left side. There's going to be Miller to Johnson. Off the touch. Got it. 20-10. Swick back up by double digits. They have doubled Rend Lake's points, and they are the first team to 20. Miller will serve this one. It's going to be over. Rend Lake will go right side and try to send it over. Unable to. Swick gets another point. They're within 4, 21-10. If you do the math, if you go 5-2 in set 1 in favor of Rend Lake, Swick then went on a 23-12 run. And then since then, it's a 44-22 run. So Swick, since then, being down 5-2, has doubled Rend Lake's points, essentially. Before that point, now it's 44-23 in that time span. Warriors will serve here with Johnson in the middle to Worson. Hughes, there we go, Ashland. Don't think she's been able to put one down yet here in this first set. Or second set, check that. As it will be Lacey Pullman back to serve. Gonna get this one over. Rend Lake coming back. That's going to go off the touch, and it's going to land right in the middle. Swick had no one there to follow it up, but it's 23-12. Swick will get Jefferson College tomorrow. They're going to be off for, as I mentioned, until next Friday in Vincennes. That doubleheader against Vincennes, the Trailblazers, and Mineral Area, the Cardinals. Going to get Mineral Area 3 different times this season. Vincennes next Friday, and then they'll get them in Mattoon in Lakeland. And a point for Rend Lake, 22-14. And then the third time, I believe Swick will head over to Mineral Area late in the season to get them over at Park Hills, Missouri. Same thing with Jefferson College. Get them tomorrow night, and you'll get them at their place later this season as well. And you like to see that. Just a little bit of a different schedule this season. Swick not playing as easy as opponents as they did last season. Porter, left side. That one's going to be over. A lot of, and that's why I told Coach when I looked at the schedule the first time. I said, Coach, you got a lot of Midwest District teams on here. There's going to be Hughes. That one's going to be over. A lot of Midwest District tournament teams. All the teams that Swick is going to face that's outside the region. As Porter is going to send that one out, try to find the back right corner. All the teams that Swick's going to play outside the region is going to be teams that they could possibly face in the Midwest District Tournament. Jefferson College was on the other side of the tournament last year. I believe that was Tournament A. Swick hosted Tournament B, and Mineral Area here at this tournament. That one's going to be thrown out. Swick is in within 2, 23-15. 2-point game. And then Mineral Area was also on this side as Middle Area was on the side. You had Jefferson College on the other side. Vincennes, as I mentioned, you get them twice inside the region. That one's going to be launched out. Swick has hit set point here in set 2. 24-15. As I mentioned, they're going to get Indian Hills up in Lakeland. Another team that Swick faced in the championship of the Midwest District Tournament last year is Rend Lake, unable to get it over. It's going to be a point for Swick, and it's the 25th point here at set 2. They have taken the second set by double digits, 25-15, winning by 10. And we'll look to finish this one out in straight sets. And let's go for a set shutout here in a little bit here at Swick. Swick came in 4-0, 12-1 in sets. They improved that now to 14-1, and looking for lucky number 15 to finish out the night. Back in a moment here for the third set. Hopefully it's the final one here from Swick. This is Bluestone Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Back in a moment here from Swick. Swick took the second set in double-digit fashion, winning 25-15. Now looking to finish this off with a set shutout. They're going to be back on your left side as they'll move left to right. Out there for Swick will be Maddie Gibbs, a freshman, wear number 8. Brooke Miller, a sophomore, wear number 23. She's going to come out for libero. Addie Walton wears number 17, the sophomore. Ashlyn Hughes in. Bailey Henry wears number 10, a freshman. And also out there will be Layla Porter, a freshman, number 12. And then back to serve will be the freshman setter, Lacey Pullman, who, like I said, it feels good to have two setters once again after what's happened last season. And so far, good to see Addie Worson back out there. Looks like she's moving well and quick. That's what head coach Warren Thomas told me a few weeks ago. Swick's going to get the opening points on a block, 1-0 very early on in set 3. It didn't take much time. I talked with him, when we sat down for that season preview interview, which we'll have the second portion of that tomorrow on our pregame show. Hear the rest of that. Just kind of told me, it feels like she's getting back to where she wants to be, and it's going to be a kill for Layla Porter. 2-0 favor Swick. And that's something that, Swick, would like to have her, and she was really good at Effingham St. Anthony as a volleyball player. I forgot how far they went her senior year. That's going to be a point for Swick, 3-0. Definitely, I want to say they definitely made the state tournament, I want to say. I can't remember how they finished. 3-0 here in favor of Swick. You had a few really good high school players. You had Lacey Pullman and Joy Hurley, a right side out of Hardin, Illinois, both attended Calhoun High School. I believe they were state champions or third place. Or runner-up. I can't remember. I know they got a trophy, so it's at least third. Should have had that memorized. Rend Lake will send it over on a free ball. But a lot of players, and that's a big thing about this freshman group. All these players were really good at their high school or really good in their conference. That one's going to be sent over, but it's going to go out down the line, and Rend Lake's on the board here at set 3. It's 3-1, and that's something that makes this group even better. Swick sophomores they returned from last year, all really good. Ashlyn Hughes, Addison Walton, Addie Worson, Grace Johnson, the big one, and then you get this transfer in from Rend Lake and Brooke Miller. Really good group, and I think are really good leaders. That's the thing, you need sophomores leaders, and I think they're a perfect fit for that. And you got these freshmen that are very, very talented, very, very talented at the very least. Hit over into the net. Swick makes it 4-1 early on in this third set. And we will see the first appearance of the night, the freshman defensive specialist out of Brazil. Number 1, Laura Rostadlo, and I'll work on that last name. I don't think I have it down 100% yet, but I'll get that down here over the course of this season. This one's going to be over right to the Rend Lake libero. That one's going to go near the net, not able to get over 5-1. She was the one back serving. So we've seen everyone play so far besides Joy Hurley, who is not dressed. I believe that's everybody. Oh, besides Skylar Yates. She is dressed. We'll see if she comes in here at all in this third set. And that's what we kind of look at the stats so far in that opening tournament. A lot of players, different rotations. Hughes just a little bit out, trying to find that back line. Unable to, and it's 5-2. Rend Lake will send their libero, Ella Westwood, back to serve. Talking about Swick only returning a few players from last year. Same thing with Rend Lake. They lost a lot of their roster last year, only returning 3 sophomores. That's going to be a kill for Gibbs, and it's 6-2. Only returned 3 sophomores, 7 total freshmen on the roster. They only returned 186 of almost 1,200 sets played. That's just less than 16% of total sets played last year returning, and only returned 39 of almost 1,600 points last year. Obviously, there are 2 players, one of their players they returned as a libero, so that's defensive. That one's going to be on the back line, just out. So they lost a lot from last year, and their top 3 are all freshmen in kills. Chandler Blondlin, Angel Johnson, and Bailey Nibbs. There's 2 setters. They're both freshmen, and Kendra Wilkie and Eden Anderson. They're freshman middle who leads them in aces. Bella Morgan, she's a freshman. Did it go off of Hughes? It did not. As it goes out, point for Swick, and it's 8-2. As I mentioned, they lost their leader in kills and points last season. Brooke Miller transferred over here. Played at Valmeyer High School. That one's going to be sent over. Swick will go right side with Porter. Left-handed swing. Rend Lake will come back with it for the back row. Swing. Johnson's there on the dig. Someone's got to get there, and Pullman just a little bit too late getting that ball. 8-3 now in favor of the Blue Storm. As Ashland Hughes will come out. Brooke Miller, I believe, is the one that just came in. Left-handed serve here for Rend Lake. That comes from Eden Anderson. Porter, big left-handed swing, blocked, but it goes out. And Swick will make it a 5-point lead, 8-3. We'll see what the hitting percentage is for Swick after this one. Interested to pull up the stats tomorrow and get the prep work done for Jeffco in tomorrow's game. Swick this season, very high hitting percentage. Coming in, hitting .326, fourth best in the country at the Division I level. There's going to be a point for Rend Lake off the kill, 9-4. And I looked at those other three schools that are ahead of Swick in the hitting percentage. They're all nationally ranked. So Swick is kind of in a category with some of the best schools, which is where you want to be. And I'm going to make this prediction. I kind of wanted to wait to say it, but I'll make the take now. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we get midway through the season, especially if Swick could have a big win tomorrow and have a big day next Friday at Vincennes. There's going to be a block. Brooke Miller with another one, 10-4. What surprised me if Swick gets some wins here early on and would be receiving votes in the national poll. Lakeland was receiving votes late of the season last year before it was a rough end of their season. Did not play well in that region tournament. And there's going to be an ace for Swick. We got Maddie Gibbs back serving against that one. You also have Skylar Yates in there, first appearance of the night, the freshman of Heron, Illinois. Gibbs will serve another one. He's having a good game here. Came in the second set, now playing in the third, looking good. Walton there in the dig. We'll go to Worsing. Left side, Henry. Big swing. Did it find the corner? It did. Swick building the lead as Bailey Henry puts one down. Another one, I believe that's her first of the third set. It's 12-4. Swick this season has only dropped a set. That was in the third set against Olive Harvey, a rematch from last year's district tournament, as Gibbs will put that one in the net. Service there will go back to Rend Lake. Beat them in four, which, fine with them taking a set. Olive Harvey has been getting really, really better over the last few seasons. And we might be seeing them in the district tournament come this postseason, 12-5. Miller will send this one over. So we'll go to the left side. It's going to be a point for Rend Lake, as there's going to be a violation. I believe it goes against Brooke Miller, and it will be 12-6. Region tournament over in Lakeland College this year. Over in Mattoon, Illinois. Last year at John A. Logan over in Carterville. And then we'll see where the district tournament goes. Obviously, if Swick can win that region tournament, they'll be able to host their side of the district tournament. Yates will send it over. It's going to land for a point. Swick leads, gets another point, build it on the lead, 13-6. I believe it's Region 16 who hosts the other district tournament, or wins the Region 16 tournament, which could be Jeffco, Mineral Area, or Missouri State West Plains, so over in Missouri. Leah Furlow will come in. Ashland Hughes is out. That one's going to be over for the Blue Storm. Warriors will go right side down line. Got it for a kill. Taylor Richardson, the sophomore right side, puts one down. And it's 13-7 in favor of Swick. Rend Lake will send Kendra Wilkie, the freshman center, back to serve. This one's going to be over to Henry. Worson going to Walton on a roll shot. That's going to be over. Rend Lake in the middle. We'll throw it left side. Swing off the touches. Gibbs made a last-ditch effort for it. Went off her hand. It will be a point for Rend Lake, and they pull within 5. It's 13-8. This one's going to be over. Let's go to Gibbs in the middle. Furlow, left side for Henry, trying to put one down. That's going to go over to the opposite side of the court. And then near that back right corner, Rend Lake will eventually get it over. Now back to Henry again, and it's going to be blocked. It's going to be a point for Rend Lake as it's going to hit the net. It'll be 4 hits, 13-9 in favor of Swick, 4-point game. Another serve here for the Warriors. This will be Henry. Going to Worson. He'll go to Yates on the left side. Back to Furlow, trying to send it over on a swing and end up hitting it into the net, 13-10. Rend Lake has pulled within 3 in this third set. Another serve for the Warriors. So go to Walton near the corner. Worson to Furlow. That one's going to be over. Furlow will send it back as Warriors send it right back to her. And it'll go on the left side. It's going to find a spot in the middle. Kill there for Angel Johnson, the freshman outside. And 13-11. You saw head coach Warren Thomas late in that third set when Rend Lake, that second set, went on a run there late. I thought he was going to get ready to call a timeout. He did not. We'll see how close he is to calling one here. I bet if Rend Lake gets 2 more and they tie this up, I think that's when he'll call it. Henry, that one's going to be blocked. Walton sends it back. And this will go in the middle of the worst. And out of Furlow into the net, 13-12. And see here, he's still sitting down, which is a good look out of him. 13-12. He kind of helped late this season when Swick was rolling, had that 10-game win streak. He didn't have to stand up much at all. Worson sends it over. Rend Lake comes back. Walton's right there. Worson pass. Furlow tip over. Warriors are there in the middle. They'll go left side. That one's going to be blocked. And they'll tip over. Walton's there. Now it's Walton will set it left side for Henry. She swings. Rend Lake is there looking to tie it. Swing from the back row. Worson. Walton sets. Yates. Right to a Rend Lake Warrior player. They'll come again on the right side. Into the net. Finally, Swick gets a point, as Wooden couldn't get that one over. And it's 14-12. Layla Porter and Lacey Pullman will come in. Skylar Yates and Addie Worson will come out. And it will be Pullman back to serve. Freshman setter out of Harding, Illinois. Attended Calhoun High School. That one's going to be over. Good job by Pullman to get there. Ends up with Henry. She swings it over. Warriors will go left side. That one's going to go off the block. Gibbs able to track it down. Now goes to Henry in the middle. Warriors are there. Furlow sends it over. Rend Lake coming back. They'll go right side again with Wooden. Near the line. Pullman there. Got to get Gibbs. He's going to fall down, able to make a play. And Swick gets it over on the third hit. Warriors again. Libero will send it over on a free ball from the middle. Walton backing up is there. In the middle to Furlow. Swing. Libero comes back. Pullman tracks it down. Walton out going to Porter. Left-handed swing. Rend Lake is there. Pass in the middle. Left side swing on a roll shot. Gibbs knocks it down. Pullman, Henry, as we go back and forth. Rend Lake is there on the dig. Now go to Libero in the middle. Swing coming to left side. It's deflected. Great job by Gibbs, able to keep it alive. Pullman will get it over, and Rend Lake. Shot is over. Good job by Henry, as it's going to be a point for Swick finally. Back and forth play, and Swick's effort being shown early on makes it 15-12. Couple really good plays by Maddie Gibbs. Bailey Henry getting there. Addison Walton doing a lot of moving the libero, and Rend Lake forced to call a timeout. 15-12 here at set 3. Swick is up by 3 in this third set. Timeout on the floor. We're back in a moment. This is Swick Volleyball here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. Swick leading 15-12 here, 10 points away from capturing a set shutout over Rend Lake, trying to mark it as their 9th win in the last 10 against the Warriors in the last 10 meetings, as Furlow couldn't get over on the block. It landed on the Swick side. A point for Rend Lake, 15-13. Swick is 10-4 against Rend Lake since 2018, and Warriors will send it back here with Ella Laster. This will go right to Gibbs in the middle. Pullman, right side to Henry. Big swing, and on the right side now instead of the left side, puts one down. Bailey Henry gets a kill, and she's played really good tonight as well. 16-13, she's been impressive. Laura Westado will be back to serve for Swick, the freshman out of Brazil. This one's going to be over. Can Rend Lake get it over? No, it's going to be an ace for the freshman out of Brazil. 17-13. That's our second or third of the night. And it's 17-13. Swick up by 4, trying to continue to build this lead. This serve is going to be over. Rend Lake in the middle. Pass, set, and they got it down on the kill. Great spike put down by Bailey Nibbs, the freshman middle. Rend Lake has played pretty solid so far in this third set, 17-14, but team last year that ended up going 13-18, went 3-6 in region play at the Division II level. As there's Porter, big swing. Battle for it, the net, blocked by Furlow. Going backwards, Warriors will send it over on the left side. There's going to be Rostallo in the dig, going to Pullman. Left side, Gibbs! Did we get a touch? They're going to say no as it went out. And then the other ref near the scores table is saying there's going to be a touch. It's going to be a point for Swick. I was going to say we did. I mean, it looked like it deflected off of somebody, the way the ball moved on the path. It'll be a point for Swick, and will stay the 18-14. Back up by 4. Furlow will serve this one. Rend Lake will go right side. This will go to Furlow, who's going to go to Pullman. She'll set Miller! Almost got one there. Rend Lake keeps it alive. They'll send over the third hit. Rostallo in the middle as Pullman had to move backwards. Try to get there. The freshman setter couldn't follow it up. Furlow will come out. Walton back in as it goes back to Rend Lake, 18-15. Warriors fell to Illinois Central College. First round of the Region 24 tournament. Lost in 3, 25-13, 25-20, 25-16. This will be over. Gibbs sends it over. That's going to be a kill, 19-15. It's 19-15. Yates will come back in. Same thing with Worson, Porter, and Pullman out. And it will be the sophomore Addie Worson back to serve. Got an ace earlier in this game. Currently sitting at 13 on the season. Behind Pullman with 15. This will be over. Rend Lake will go left side. That one's going to be off the block. It did touch the antenna, so a point for Swick. And it's going to be 20-15. 19-15. That is 20-15. This will be worse than serving it over again. Near the scores table, Rend Lake will pass it in the middle. Free ball coming from the libero. Miller. There's another kill for the sophomore. The ex-Warrior puts one down. 21-15. Swick within 4. So they're the first team to 20. First team to 20 in all 3 sets so far. Orson will serve this one right to the libero in the middle. Rend Lake will tip it over off of Miller. Gibbs couldn't get there to land. 21-16. This will be Chandler Blondwin back to serve. Rostallo will go to Worson. Miller in the middle puts one down. 2 kills for her for the last 2 points for the Blue Storm. 22-16, a 3-point game. Rostallo will come out. Henry will come back in. And it will send the freshman of Plainsville, Illinois. Freshman outside serving in Maddie Gibbs. Rend Lake on the right side into the net. Swick within 2 from marking a 5-0 start. Swick is off to its 3rd best start since 2011. Went 4-0 in 2021. That tied its 3rd here with their 4-0 start this season. And if they can make their 5th win here, as they're 1 point away from doing that. Started 5-0 in 2015. It would tie their 2nd best start since 2011. 24-16, game point. Gibbs looking to finish it off for the Blue Storm. Gets this one over right to the Rend Lake Libero. Pass going right side. Swing is over. Worston there in the dig. Waltz in the middle. She'll set. Yates right side. Swing! Got it! Swick puts it down! And that's a Blue Storm winner, number 5 on the year. Starting the season 5-0 and 1-0 on this home floor here at J. Harrington Court. Rend Lake falls to 2-4 as Swick gets the set shutout over the Warriors. 25-17, 25-15, 25-15. Back in a moment. Welcome back here to Southwestern College. You welcome into our post-game show, and Swick pulls out about a set shutout. 25-17, 25-15, 25-15 over Red Lake College. Steven Stock with you. Glad to have you along. First game of the season. Feels good to get it in. Players, they have kind of first game jitters. It's nervousness. As a broadcaster, I'm not going to lie, I got the same thing too, but kind of feels normal after that, first set, feels good to be back calling some volleyball. I had it just feels right. Everything feels right here with tonight. Swicking back into it. I mean, it's this so far, what we see tonight, this bunch looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to cover the way they play. And we saw a lot of effort plays, too. That one play back and forth where everyone's diving out for balls, making plays. This is a good bunch, and they are, so far, from what we've seen, exciting. 5-0 now to start the year, which currently ties their second-best start since 2011. And first home win of the season as well. Moving to 1-0 on this home floor, 5-0 total on the regular season. They get one more home game tomorrow, and they're going to be off for a week and be back at it next Friday on the road in Vincennes. It's going to be first road trip of the season. And let's see, I think our first road trip last year on the road was Lincoln Trail, and that was a tough one. Swick ended up losing that, I believe, in 4 sets. And but that's Robinson only a long way away, and I want to say Vincennes is farther, going to that Eastern time zone as well. I keep forgetting that that's Eastern time zone, which is crazy. But just looking forward to, as our first game through, looking forward to how this season's going to play out, because this, I know Rend Lake, kind of a struggling opponent, struggled last season, struggled to open up the season here. Now 2-4. Not the best, not the greatest opponent. Swick hasn't played that top school yet. They're going to get Jeffco tomorrow, which will be a big test in the Jefferson College. We'll see how they play tomorrow. But Swick played really well tonight. Go up by 8 in the first set, went up by double digits in the last 2 sets. Played really, really good. And 5-0. Not many thoughts there. We're going to get a player interview here in just a moment on the postgame. We're going to hear from sophomore Brooke Miller, who's going to transfer. I'm going to put her under a little bit of pressure tonight. I don't know if she's going to like me for that. We're going to put her under a little bit of pressure, though, coming on. First interview guest of the season, so she's got some high expectations. We're going to put her under some pressure once she comes up here in just a moment. Hopefully. She'll be up here in just a moment. Anyway, folks, back tomorrow against Jefferson College. It's going to be a 6:15 pregame show again. We'll kind of do the same thing we did tonight, break down a little bit of the matchup. Hopefully I'll have the box score posted for tonight that I can break that down as I always do. If you're new here, folks, I break these down. If you haven't tuned in the pregame, I break these down in a unique way. I try to find trends throughout box scores. What is Swick doing that's getting them wins? And you're going to see that a lot here. We already have, if you tuned in tonight, you already have a couple that I've given you. We're going to have a lot more throughout the season. So we'll follow that tomorrow night. And then it will help play that second half of that season preview interview. I think there's still about 10 to 12 minutes left. So I want to make sure you hear as much of that as you can. That was a great interview with 2 coaches here for Swick. So anyway, just waiting for our player guest in just a moment, and we're going to take a break. We're going to be back in a moment here on the Swick Athletics YouTube channel. We continue rolling on the postgame. Welcome back in here to our Swick Volleyball postgame show. Swick able to pull out a 3-set shutout over Rend Lake to improve to 5-0 on the regular season. 15-1 now in sets as the Warriors of Rend Lake College fall to 2-4 as we have our first postgame guest of the season. Here in the Swick home opener playing against her former school, Brooke Miller. I kind of joked before you came on here. I'm putting you under a lot of pressure, it feels like, because you're the first guest, first game.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming up. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
What was your kind of overall thoughts on tonight for you guys?
I was honestly really nervous for myself just because it is the team I played for before. But as a team, I was really confident in because as a team, we're so good. We have so much talent, and putting it all together, it just looks so good. So I honestly was confident in the team. Myself was just super nervous because of the team that we were playing.
Look at, for you last year, you led them in kills, you led them in points, and coming into this year now, you're already up to third on the team in kills. I know you put a couple down. I think it's at least 6 or 7 from my count. Just for you coming into this year, I mean, what if playing, obviously Rend Lake was D2 last year, now at D1. What's that off-season work like, making the transition and kind of just trying to get better?
So it's actually completely different from what Rend Lake was to Swick. We did so much more training over the summer, and I was not expecting, last summer before I started at Rend Lake, we had no trainings, nothing, and then I come in and coach is like, hey, we have trainings 2 to 3 times a week. I'm like, oh, good. I was happy about it. I was just like, oh, okay. But it was good. It was getting us in and getting touches and just getting us ready to play. And I honestly feel like it really helped us to grow as a team and to connect as a team.
Look at last season. You played Swick twice, lost in 5 sets here, and then we lost in 3 sets back at your place. To be on the other side of the net and see you guys succeed so far now. I mean, 5-0. It's a really good start. Second best for Swick since 2011 as a volleyball program. Just talk about what you guys are feeling like right now to see the success you guys are having. It feels like you guys, from what I've seen, are having fun on the floor.
Yeah, we're definitely having fun. We're definitely connecting very well, like I said before. I just think we need to sometimes, we play more having fun than serious. So I feel like we need to stay in and stay locked in the whole time, and we'll be good to go, and it'll be fun.
Look at another thing, too, that I really saw tonight was you guys are making a lot of effort plays. You guys are trying, and it's a long season, so it's going to, it's a lot over the course of the season. But for you guys right now, it feels like the effort's there. I mean, speak about that for you guys. You guys are trying to get to every single ball and keep everything alive, from what I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everybody has the heart for the game and really just wants to do great for us, and I just love it. It's so awesome to be on a team like that.
Brooke, I'll let you go. You did great, by the way. For a first interview guest of the season, you did great. So thanks for coming up. I appreciate it.
Thank you so
much. Back
much.
in a moment. Wrap it up in a second. Brooke Miller, our post-game guest tonight, the former Rend Lake Warrior, did a great job and came up. I'm like a lot of these players are always nervous coming up, and I don't fault them for that because they're a player. They're not. I always say this. That's not their job to come up here and talk. But she did a great job and starts off the post-game interviews with the bang so far to start off the season. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We're back here tomorrow at Swick 6:15 pregame show. 6:30 is the open and serve against Jefferson College here from Southwestern College. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Steven Stock, glad to have you along. And game 1 of a long season awaits. 5-0, great start, second best for Swick since 2011, tying their 5-0 start in 2015. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Wish you a great rest of your night, great rest of your Wednesday. Until the next time I see you, I'll see you later.